Welcome back, everyone. We're here today, brand new Mindset and Motivation Monday, the best way to start the week on the Cabral concept. Excited to get into today's show. It goes back to one of my favorite quotes. I'm big on quotes, and I love using quotes because they stick in your mind and they help you to understand that in life, we have to continually make the main thing the main thing. That means when we lose sight of our goals and what actually helps us move towards them, we start to fall back in life. And when we fall back beyond our potential, that's when we get frustrated. We get stressed out. We feel like we're not making progress. And honestly, we feel like there's no passion. There's no purpose. What are we doing here? Why are we just going through the same old, same old? And usually it's because we are not moving towards a growth-based trajectory. Whenever people feel like they're growing, they're getting better in some small way in any area of their life, they're typically happier. I mean, I see this day in and day out in my practice, and I have now for the past 25 years. So what I want to share with you today is one of my favorite things to give my private wellness clients, and I try to use it myself every single day in my life, and I use it like clockwork because it is built into my schedule. So what I want to share with you right now is that the truth is this: most people set goals or some type of goals, or at least hopes and dreams for their life, meaning like, here's where you are today, and here's where you want to be in the future. So you want to get better overall. And usually we want to get better because it will bring us what we believe is more happiness, better relationships, better finance, career, health, body transformation, spirituality, right? Like it's going to move us towards a desired effect. And I think that that is a good thing because I really have seen, and this is honestly the truth, more people I know are happier when they're working towards something. They're not just like, oh, yeah, I'm good. I don't know a ton of people. Maybe that's just me, but I meet a whole lot of people, right, in my practice. And the happiest people I know are working on projects, relationships, themselves, etc. That's moving them forward to something new, something greater. That's what I've seen in my life. Now, maybe you've seen different. I would love to hear that, of course, in the comments. But from what I've seen, growth equals happiness for most people. And it never means comparing yourself to anyone else. It's simply, are you doing better than yesterday's you? That's really it. And so now we know, okay, if we set goals for ourselves, that's great. We want to be able to move forward towards a future us, right? That's going to be that much better than us today. The problem is that not everybody in your life, your work, your family, etc., shares those same goals. Those are your personal goals. So the problem is, as you're trying to progress in your life, not everybody is necessarily on board. That means that life tends to come up quite often. And that means you miss the workout, the eating well, the saving for whatever it is you're looking to invest in for yourself or whatever it might be. You miss those things because, honestly, they're not other people's priorities. They might be your priority, but oftentimes if it's scheduled for afternoon or after work, it gets pushed away by work deadlines, family events, etc. So what I want to share with you right now is one simple phrase, a mantra that you can use for yourself to make sure that it gets done every day. So I just need you to do two things before I share that mantra. One is to go back to 2 podcasts for me. The first one is this. It's the 3 big anchors. So that no matter what, no matter how thrown off your day gets, you can always go back to these 3 anchors that I use. One is upon waking, one is at lunch, and one is the end of the day, right? Basically the end of the workday, 5, 6 o'clock, whatever it might be. So no matter what, I never let the whole day get away. Part of the day might get away. Even upon waking, like not in the best mood, whatever it might be, or first half of the day or second half of the day, I'm always trying to pull back the day to get it back on track. All right, so that's the first one. The second podcast is throwing away your to-do list. I've honestly, I stopped using them. I used to have massive to-do lists. The problem was I couldn't get everything done in a given day, and I would feel bad about myself. I'd say, you only got done half of the things on your to-do list, and half of the things on my to-do list might be like 10 things. But I still didn't feel good about myself because I always had more to-dos than time in the day. So what I want you to do is also throw away that to-do list, and I'm going to link up those shows at stevencabral.com/2999. Tomorrow is episode 3000. Don't miss it. It's going to be on one of my favorite books of the past 12 months. You won't want to miss it. It's something that I've literally been loving reading about and working towards in my own life. So I'm going to share that episode 3000. It's going to be a fun one. All right. So now you're going to listen to those 2 shows. And what I want you then is to move towards what your main goal is. And I want you to narrow down from all your goals to just choose one for right now, just one. You can add another one in maybe a week or 2, but add one for right now, that's it. And then know what you need to do to move towards that goal. All right, so I always use the body transformation one, and typically it's weight loss. We've got about 2/3 of the population who want to lose weight at any given time, right? So it's just one that's kind of ubiquitous that a lot of people want. Not everybody, of course. I'm not preaching weight loss for every single individual, but it's just an easy one to wrap your mind around because it's basically, oh, I want to lose 10 pounds or I want to lose 15 pounds or whatever it is. Well, let's just say that's your goal because it's simple, right? It's easy. You can insert overcoming your autoimmune issues. You could insert finding, a partner in life, someone like a significant other. You could say, I want to work on a relationship with my current spouse, like whatever it is, all right? So just kind of keep your goal in your mind. And we'll just use the weight loss one just for one moment. So the 2 biggest things with weight loss, and I know I have tons of shows and it's not just about calories in, calories out, but in the beginning, if you've never done a nutrition plan that's healthier, meaning a healthy eating plan, or exercise, we want to add those, right? So we know that for our weight loss plan, so that's our goal, weight loss, let's say 15 pounds. And our most important thing then is we need to watch our diet and our exercise. So what do we need to do? Watch our food intake and our movement for the day. So that means we need to pre-plan those things. When do we need to do it? Now this comes down to the mantra. All right, so I want you to remember this phrase: big thing, first thing. Big thing, first thing. Whatever the big thing is that you're trying to accomplish in your life, it's the very first thing that you do for the day. And I know that this may take a little bit of rearranging schedules, but honestly, after you get up, use the bathroom, brush your teeth, splash a little water in your face, whatever you need to do, go do that big thing. That's the thing that you need to do. Because here's what happens. And we'll go through some examples in just a second. If you get in the habit of taking the first 30 minutes of the day to yourself, to whatever that goal is, it's a monumental push as the days, weeks, and months and years add up. It really is. But the second part is you begin to then look at the rest of the day as easier and not as stressful, got your big thing done, but also you don't want to mess that thing up. So if your goal is weight loss and you got in 30 minutes of exercise first thing in the morning, what don't you want to do? You don't really want to cheat on your diet. You don't really want to move in a direction that would throw off your first 30 minutes. You woke up, it's the first thing you did, you dedicated time to it, energy to it. You don't want to throw that off. So it's a big momentum driver. The other thing is you start to look at yourself because after you're done with your exercise, after that first 30 minutes or meditation, if you're stressed or, you're online dating, whatever it might be. Again, I'm not an expert in that space, but you're looking for that significant other. And another one would be for autoimmune-based issues. Okay, well, what is it that you need to do? You might say, I'm going to go do my sauna. I'm going to go set up my food plan. I'm going to prep my meals for the day. Whatever it might be. The other one might be work-based. Okay, you're currently a real estate agent, but you want to become a health coach. Okay, your first 30 minutes then is doing something like the IHP health coach certification. Okay, so now you're working on that. So whatever it is, but here's the thing, it's just 30 minutes, but just 30 minutes adds up to 2.5 hours Monday through Friday. Maybe you take the weekends off, or ideally it's every single 30 minutes. So you always stay in the frame that the first 30 minutes of every day is dedicated to my big thing, first thing. And so what does that do for you? It also shows you that you're a doer. So if you dedicate that first 30 minutes to doing and working on your goal, you now realize that you're someone that doesn't just set goals, but you achieve them. Because if you can pre-plan those meals and you do 30 minutes of movement every morning, trust me, you're going to be able to drop that 15 pounds. And if you don't, of course, you say, okay, I did step 1, nutrition. I did step 2, exercise, movement, right? Even if it's just walking. Great, walking at a brisk pace. If you're doing those things and you're moving up, as I've taught on the previous podcast, then you're going to look at your metabolism. But you have to get the nutrition and exercise out of the way, because if you never do those, then you can't ever say like it's not just dieting, it's not just exercise, meaning like it's not just calories. I'm not about crash course dieting, that's for sure. So now you're doing those things, and you should be able to lose the 15 pounds in 6 weeks, like maximum. Honestly, you should be able to do something like the 21-day functional medicine detox and lose 7 to 10 of those pounds, probably minimum. And so now you've got like 5 to 7 pounds to go. And then when are you going to be able to lose that 5 to 7 pounds? Probably over the next month to 6 weeks maximum. So now you can say, okay, in the next 2 months maximum, I'm going to lose that 15 pounds. And it's a great goal to set for yourself. But the only way that you're going to lose that weight or get through the health coach certification or get through the autoimmune-based protocols, whatever it might be, is to actually implement it. And a lot of the implementation isn't super difficult. When you're even just starting an exercise program, yes, there's lots of fancy exercise programs and many of them are absolutely phenomenal. But the truth is, if you're not walking and walking at a brisk pace or just even walking at an incline, you can just start there. Like you can legitimately, if you're not doing anything else, you can just start there because it's good to get started, right? And you typically, if you wake up with higher glucose levels, well, I can't give medical advice, but you can do it fasted. Great. And then you can have your breakfast after that. So it's like, these are things that you can be doing. And then what you can be doing is saying, okay, well, what's the next thing? I'm gonna meal prep for the day. I'm gonna make sure that my breakfast is on point. I just did my workout. Of course, I'm not gonna mess it up there. I might just have a smoothie or a daily nutritional support shake and water, like whatever works. Great. And then lunch, here's my lunch. And then here's my dinner. I'm done eating by 6 o'clock at night. I'm doing my 3-2-1 method for great sleep, all these different things. You're good to go. So my advice to you is to not allow your day to get away from you, because we all have the best of intentions. That's the truth. All of us. But I'd say at least 20 to 30% of the time, something's going to come up at work. Something's going to come up with family. Something's going to come up with yourself. Like something may just happen where by the end of the day, you're too tired. You've already used up a lot of the willpower. Because trust me, willpower is something that it can fade, it can come and it can go. But if you just get into a routine and you schedule this into your schedule, if you wake up at 6 o'clock from 6:05 to 6:35, that's you time. And if you say, well, I don't have an extra half hour in the morning, go to bed a half hour earlier. It makes a monumental difference. If you're staying up till midnight, now I know, again, if you're younger, you might stay up a little later, whatever it might be. But the truth is, get to bed earlier, wake up earlier. When I wake up between 5:30 and 6, and I've had times in my life where I've woken up, around 4 to 4:30 back in my exercise personal training days. I don't do that anymore. I don't think it's great for my body. Maybe it's fine for yours. I think it's pretty early waking up before 5 a.m., but you do what you have to do, right? I mean, I have young kids, all sorts of different things. But here's the thing. I believe that if you wake up between 5:30 and 6, you go to bed between 9:30 and 10 at night, you can get your 8 hours of sleep. What we want to look at is that most of the world isn't up, right? Your work is probably not going to be pressing you for anything that you need to do. Your family's most likely still sleeping, your significant other. It gives you 30 minutes extra. It really does. And that's you time. And if I look at my day, there's not really a whole lot of you time besides that. And that's okay. So I structure it so that I can be up and have my you time actually for about an hour. And then the rest of the day is first my daughters, making sure my wife, I help out with whatever I can, getting my girls off to school. And then it's right away into work. And it's all the different things that I do for work. End of the day, I do typically get that 30 minutes to 45 minutes of my exercise built in right before dinner. But sometimes it's challenging. There's no doubt about it. Daughters want help with homework or whatever it might be, and I want to be there. So it's more of a challenge, but usually I can carve that out. And then what happens is the rest of the night, like that's my family's time. So then what do I get? Just a little bit, 20, 30 minutes or so, besides my wife and I's time, maybe before bed. So I'm telling you right now, all the rest of the day is usually hard to get unless you are single and you're home and you can do your own thing at night. But even then, you might not have the energy to be able to do it at night. My highest recommendation, whether you're a morning person or not, is to think to yourself, big thing, first thing, schedule it, get it done. You'll be happy that you did. Let me know your thoughts on today's show. Simply leave them in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe. We've got an amazing global health community here. And of course, if there's ever any questions or if this show is helpful, do feel free to share it with anyone you believe it could serve. Take care, everybody. I'll be back with episode 3000 tomorrow. Don't miss it. Thanks so much for tuning into today's show. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I want to make sure that you're getting our daily content, not missing out on anything functional medicine, wellness, weight gain, weight loss, anti-aging, living longer, stronger, and all of the most cutting-edge research. And if there's any topics you want to hear, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Take care.